Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Final Assessment podcast about evil. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Today, this is a fun one. Season 2, Episode 7, S is for Silence. We joined the gang at a silent monastery.
I love the looks on their faces when the monk opens up the little window to look out.
Yeah, this whole setup is wild. It's in upstate New York.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, I didn't realize that monks don't really like women being involved in their stuff.
I mean, that's a topic for another day. There was a, I want to say, Eastern, I don't know, it was not a Catholic. It was a Eastern Orthodox, maybe Russian Orthodox. I don't know if monk is the correct word, but a priest or something. And he had never, in his life, he passed on, and he had never in his entire life seen a woman. Not even seen one.
Like, not even like looked out the window and saw a woman?
Not even, no, because he'd been in the monastery his whole life. He had never seen a woman.
Not even a nun?
None. Nope, not even a nun.
Holy smokes. How do you live your whole life not seeing the
Well, I mean, if you haven't seen one, if you haven't seen one,
I guess you don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're missing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we could, we could really get into this, and the show touches on it a lot, on the treatment of women by the church and their understanding of the woman's place in the church and how biblical that is, or what else it means, and what religions. We could do that all day. And I think the show probably wants us to. But I think for the purposes of this podcast, it's a lot to get into.
Yeah.
So we will touch on it glancingly. They get very pointed about it at one point on this episode. We'll talk about it. So I like the sign. They have this nice little sign about shut the fuck up when you come in. And they have to turn their phones in. I guess even the phone would be a risk of them talking. You pick it up and hello. Ben's like, well, I need mine to take pictures. And so that one of the monks takes it and just takes out the SIM card. Yeah. So you say, well, how are they going to talk? None of them know ASL that we know of. How are they going to, I mean, I guess you could play charades, but how are you going to communicate this whole time without being able to talk?
Well, that comes back to a child's thing.
Look, they have these little, I don't know what they're called. They're these little boards, like you write on them and then you lift up the paper and it erases what you wrote.
Yep, I had one.
I had the Casper one. I actually had the Casper one. I was obsessed with Casper when I was little. I don't know why, but I had the Casper one. So when I saw that, I was like, oh.
Casper, the friendly ghost. Yeah, I don't remember what they're called either, but I had one. It was not Casper, yes. Sorry, but
I think everybody of a certain age had one.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty popular for a long time.
Yeah, and it's really funny. They each have their own name on the back of them.
Yes. I mean, these things are 30, 40 years old. These priests must have hundreds of them. Like, where do they get them all? They go to the Goodwill or whatever?
I mean, they had to ship that stuff in. Maybe the monks were making it or something.
I mean, they all look old,
Yeah, and every time they want to say something to somebody, they grab that person's board and write it. Did you notice that too? I was like, rude.
I did notice here also, why is, there's, I call him the hot priest, but there's one. He's a good-looking man, and Kristen has noticed it too, because she's eyeballing this man.
Oh yeah.
She's like, Yep, my name's Kristen, and I'm into breaking priest vows here.
Give her a break.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's true. I mean, David would tempt anybody, but anyway, they've gone to see Father Thomas, who he was the one they had mentioned in the previous episode. He had died the previous year, and they heard a humming coming from his tomb, and they went and looked, and he appeared to be preserved. I'm curious about the decision to use, considering the show's themes in general, and this episode's themes in particular. If the decision to name this guy Father Thomas was a pointed reference to Thomas in the Bible, doubting Thomas, I think it was. I don't think they do many things like this on accident.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ben's doing his Ben thing. He's getting hair and all that clippings to do DNA tests to make sure.
I think he gets some blood too, didn't he?
He got what he could get, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guess the idea is that if there's no deterioration on the genetic level even, then that's true incorruptibility as opposed to just, you sealed the jar good enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so what is going on?
Oh, when Kristen flashes them?
Yes.
Because she's mad because they sent her out of the room where Father Thomas was.
Yes, because they can't have a woman.
Because they can't have a woman touching a dead monk. I mean...
Okay, here's the thing. I think everybody's entitled to their beliefs as long as they don't hurt other people. But sometimes when you hold your beliefs and you take them for granted, and when you spell them out, and really spell them out and say, now put another word in there besides Brother Thomas, put any other word in all the, make a Mad Lib out of it. Does it make any sense?
Yeah, I mean...
Does it make any sense? If this guy, supposedly, his body has conquered death, but a woman being anywhere near him, that's going to ruin it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. Like, they asked for help. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, the team coming in to help you has a woman in it.
Yeah.
I don't... Yeah, I mean...
So she shows
if you didn't want her helping, you should have let them know so she could have stayed home.
Yeah, well, she whipped them out. So, now the whole place has been sullied because they've seen a breast. The life-giving breast. We can't have that. Okay. Anyway.
They probably all sucked a nipple one day.
Most of them did, probably, yep. Yeah. Anyway, she goes out and there's a young nun there having trouble with a wheelbarrow. She's got a wheelbarrow full of bottles, and this is a great relationship. She helps the nun. They make wine there at the monastery, and I say they make wine. It's mostly this nun that does everything. Apparently. Yeah,
that's what it looked like, because the other nuns are older and they look like they don't do nothing.
These older nuns are wild to me. We'll talk about them when we get there. So this nun is basically, she's got the whole place on her back, but she's okay. Did they use whiskey? They use whiskey to clean out the casks that they aged the wine in. I guess that's the trick to why their stuff tastes so good. I don't know. I don't know anything about winemaking.
I don't either.
But I think it is. I don't know if they're drinking the wine, but her and Kristen end up getting snookered while they're cleaning the inside of these casks.
Yes.
I'm watching Kristen get snookered. I'm like, girl, I don't know. How drunk can you get before you just can't not talk?
I know. Like, the whole time I was like, she is going to open her mouth at some point.
Yes. I talk when I drink. I'd be like, I have to go.
You've been running into the woods to talk. All to yourself. Well, the trees would hear you, I'm sure.
This is all very Cloak and Dagger, Cold War vibes of Ben handing these DNA samples off to this other monk outside the gates. And
yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea of if this guy, if he is truly incorruptible, they want to test him for sainthood, can we canonize this guy? So part of the canonization process is to confirm multiple miracles. They have to confirm the second miracle. I think the idea of having basically an entire episode of television where nobody talks.
Yeah, it's
impressive.
It is very impressive.
But they also, the nuance and the points that they make, they manage to get across with no dialogue to speak of, except for a few bits here and there, it's really impressive. I think, aside from other reasons to love this episode, but I think just as a technical feat or as a feat of performance, this might be one of the most impressive episodes.
Yes, yes.
But anyway, when we get to that second miracle, we're going to talk about it. But so Kristen and the nun, again, we're getting pointed. They're going to start smushing these grapes. So the nun was washing Kristen's feet,
Yeah.
Which is pointed. Jesus humbled himself to wash feet in the Bible, that he was making a point about service to others. And so by the time this is all said and done, we can see, no matter what they want to do to this woman and how they want to treat her, because she is a woman, she's got the goods that maybe they don't necessarily. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's funny here because Kristen's trying to back and forth with this nun. They're writing back and forth, and she's like, no English, only Dutch, which is funny because the actress that plays Kristen, of course, is Dutch.
Yes.
Anyway, we get to a room with this weird oozy cabinet thing. This cabinet is very evil looking. It's dark wood and ornate carving. I wouldn't want to be in the room with this thing.
It's just oozing. You don't really know what it's oozing, but it's oozing.
And when we find out what its deal is, that makes total sense. It looks like a cabinet that would, in fact, hold a demon.
Yes, it does.
They believe that there is a demon trapped inside this cabinet. The monastery was built around it because the story goes, if the demon gets out, there's no getting it back in, and it will destroy the world.
Yes.
That's its only goal. So they built a monastery around it so that they can prevent any human voice being spoken around it.
And they say that if you speak in the monastery, that your voice will bounce through the walls to the box.
I don't... why... Anyway, I don't know where the theology is on
I didn't either, but...
they don't really explain why a voice would open the demon box, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of curious, too.
I don't want to philosophize about it just yet, but anyway. So Kristen and this nun, they're having a good old time, and then the boys show up and put the kibosh on that. Kristen is hiccuping. She is so drunk, and the look that Ben gives her.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
He's just like, you've been out here drinking, and we've been working.
Well, yeah, but, you know. And
at first she stands next to one of the monks, and he just kind of turns his head with a nasty look because he can smell the whiskey on her breath. It's great.
So, okay. The boys have come out here to show Ben the second miracle, which is the nun. Okay. The nun has stigmata, which apparently happened to her after she came into contact with Father Thomas's crucifix.
Yes.
This is interesting. Our trio has to climb the walls of the monastery and go under this fence and over the river and through the woods so that they can start talking.
To grandmother's house.
Yes, exactly. And Kristen's like, okay, look, guys, wait a minute. She has to carry this wheelbarrow around. It's from the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, every day she goes back and forth with the wheelbarrow, and it's heavy, and it's exactly where the edges of the handles for the wheelbarrow would be on your hands.
Yes. And Ben is also very skeptical. He's like, well, I'm going to examine Thomas's crypt because there's preservative properties in the clay that could explain all this as well.
Yep.
And this is where David gets into some detail about building the monastery around the cabinet.
Yes.
So... this is interesting. We'll talk about it. There is a demon that appears much later in the series.
Yes.
That I realized watching this time through, I think is related to this episode. But they don't specifically draw the line, but I think it is. But okay. Anyway, when they start talking about building the monastery around this cabinet, I mean, do you think a demon that could destroy the world
is going to be held by that box?
Is going to be held by the box? How do we know when you've built the monastery long enough?
Yeah.
It reinforces the point that so many things in the show, none of it actually makes sense when you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, like...
exactly.
And it's a weird way to look at faith, you know. It's a materialistic way to approach the spiritual.
Yes.
It's very strange. So Kristen is going to interview the nun about the miracle. The nun denies that the wounds hurt, and... on a turnabout is fair play, the nun sends, there's a monk in the room to babysit the interview, and then the nun sends him out.
Yeah.
And then blocks the door.
Yeah, with a chair. Yeah. I thought that was great.
Yeah. But she's doing that because she has to show Kristen the rest of her wounds, which will involve some disrobing. She has the wounds on her feet, and she has the wound on her side. Kristen lets David know these are where they're supposed to be if this was actually stigmata.
Yes. Which I find kind of weird because with the stigmatas, I've seen them in the hands and the feet, but never actually
it's all the wounds
under
of Christ.
The breast.
It should be all the wounds of Christ. So it's the hands, feet where the nails were, and then on the side where the Roman soldier pierced him with a spear.
Yeah. But you don't see that one very visible. Like, you don't see that in a lot of things. So.
Because most people, when they're faking stigmata, they forget about that one.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It was just so accurate and so on.
It was. Okay, so David, he goes into Father Thomas's cell, and the monk lets David see the rosary. He tells David to silence his mind.
Yep.
And they go into prayer time. And, my God... so David's going to be a priest in like a month at this point, and he can't even like sit there for 5 minutes and just focus on praying.
Nope.
He just can't. He can't stop thinking about fucking Kristen. He can't stop thinking about the word fuck. It's just, and it's so funny because it's his inner monologue is going across the screen as captions.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Fuck,
fuckity,
fuck,
fuck.
Fuck Kristen. Fuck. I'm just like, wow.
It is awesome.
He knows what he wants.
It's so fun. Well, it's just so funny is when you're just left there with literally only your thoughts. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, all he thinks about is sex. It's
with Kristen,
with
though.
Kristen. So Kristen went back at David's urging. She got pictures of the wounds. Ben, meantime, is doing his thing in the crypt. And this is bad for Ben considering his experience in episode 4. He's in these catacombs, which are creepy enough. But a week or whatever after you've been trapped in a sub-basement with 2 corpses, who wants to be in these fucking catacombs? And he starts getting all turned around and flustered, and it's bad.
Yeah, he gets scared quickly.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I would too, and I, as of yet, have not been trapped in a sub-basement with 2 corpses, so...
Have you ever been trapped in some catacombs?
No, I've never even been into catacombs. No interest. I'm okay.
Even if they were well lit?
No, I don't want to... Why do I want to just walk around a bunch of dead bodies? That's all it is.
I know, but some of them might be cool the way the skulls are mounted in the walls and stuff.
Nope. Go do that yourself. I'm not going with you.
Sub-basement?
No sub-basements either. So they have dinner. Kristen is pushing her luck with this wine situation.
She gets pushed off the male table and she has to go eat with the nuns. I mean, how rude.
Okay, yeah.
The nuns made the food.
So to me, to do this in a way that would kind of make sense and preserve the monk's inability to be anywhere near a woman without getting a boner or whatever the problem is, you know what? Ben and Kristen are secular people. They're both secular. David is assumed to be priest,
yes.
but Ben and Kristen are both, give them their own table. Set them apart at their own table, if that's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Kristen she's eating with the older nuns and her
sipping a little wine.
But her and the younger nun too. And what's her name? Finna? I think her name is Finna.
Yeah.
And they're kind of giggling. They're still buzzed from earlier, and they're kind of giggling.
And she takes Kristen's hands to say a prayer, and David's watching, kind of like,
And David's getting horny, probably.
I like David.
I come down on David, but Kristen's having her own nasty thoughts.
Oh, yeah. She is.
Sure is. I'm not clear on what happens here when they all get up there, all decide they're done eating, all these nuns. They get up and they just throw their plates down.
I know. I was wondering what that was about, too. I was like, is that a nun thing?
I have no idea.
I mean, they're going to make more plates tomorrow? What's going on?
What is going on in these nunneries and monasteries? Or what is happening up there? What are we doing up there?
I mean, they could go way cheaper with paper plates. Just saying.
It's weird. I guess they just, we don't have any dish detergent. You think you're hurting anybody's feelings? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the indignities continue. Kristen has to sleep in a storage closet with a bunch of old statues.
Yeah, it's basically the statue closet. And they put a little cot in there for her.
So they give everybody a gag. Put them in your mouth at night so it is a reminder not to talk, I guess.
Or, if you sleep talk.
Yeah.
It's gonna...
I guess.
I mean, you start talking about, like, all these monks not controlling their erections, and then you talk about how they gag themselves at night.
It's almost like... I don't even want to say, because it almost feels like a parody of religious scrupulosity.
Yeah.
Of, like, missing the forest for the trees. Maybe this really happens in the monastery somewhere, and I'm picking on actual people, which I don't want to do, but,
I think I'm going to try to research a monastery and see what they say. Like, if they do stuff like
monasteries with vows of silence, because that would be analogous if that's a thing they do. But I don't think most monasteries have a demon in a box somewhere either.
I'm sure they don't, but I'm going to look it up. It's weird.
So she's sleeping in this... Kristen, I think she's still got the fire-headed gin inside her, and she's getting sexy for the statues.
Yeah. It was kind of funny.
And then I don't know what possessed her to do this, because I want to pretend that I'm above all this, but I still have some innate superstitions, so I probably would just keep my mouth shut. She did not. She felt the need to boo at this skeleton statue.
She spoke.
She did. She went, boo.
In the monastery.
And then she puts her gag in. I'm like, it's a little late for that.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, you done talked now. Like, what's that gonna do? Stop the next boo? I mean.
Well, and then, the demon box pops open, and we get the demon cam, I guess, and it heads right towards her, of course.
Yes.
Which, like, great, you have a djinn in there, now you have a demon in there. You got all sorts of problems, girl.
And she got all sorts of stuff up in her.
She sure does. So she's laying there. I don't think she understands the gravity of what she's done. This skeleton statue that she booed at, it's the Grim Reaper, and it starts walking towards her, and it's picking its teeth with its scythe. This feels to me like an homage to Harryhausen, the way this thing is moving and stuff. It's hard to tell because of the way they generally do effects on this show, but this really felt like a nod to Harryhausen, but
yeah,
I could be wrong. It's cool if it was.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice touch if that's what it was. Okay. Everybody wakes up. They're besides themselves because the demon box.
Yeah, they're like smacking sticks together, making all sorts of noise, calling the other monks.
I'm like, okay, the demon box is open. Talk.
Let's scream.
You can talk now. Like,
help! Instead of ding, ding, ding. No, we're screaming.
Yeah. And Kristen gets a look on her face like, oh shit, I did this. Like,
yeah, you did.
So we're starting to get a picture here, because now everybody's starting to get these weird rashes. Like, they're raised rashes. They're not just like mottled skin. And Ben's like, I cannot. We have to talk. So they go over the river through the woods again, out to
Grandma's house.
Grandma's house. Ben's like, we need a doctor. We need an exorcist. Kristen's like, well, I am over the misogyny. Oh, yes.
Yes, she is.
That's definitely the most important thing happening right now. Yes. And Ben says there was a scraping from inside the cabinet.
Yes.
The same kind of scraping that was coming from inside Father Thomas's coffin. Okay. Talking about an exorcist, because Fenna, the nun, is in a bad way. She has these raised bumps and everything too, but she's squirming and, well, not hooting and hollering, but they need an exorcist. And Mulvihill's here. This is where Mulvihill went to make his amends for the $40,000 that he owes his bookie or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Tristan is like, all right, I guess we're going to do a silent exorcism, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And so she gets Fenna all liquored up. Oh my God. Okay. And it just so happened part of the exorcism was putting holy ointment on these wounds. And the wound explodes and it spatters the camera and these flies come going out. I learned something from this show. I thought bot flies were like some tropical thing. Mm-hmm. Like they have them in Florida or something. Apparently, no, bot flies are prevalent in upstate New York. Really? Bot flies?
Yeah.
You smother or you cut off their air and they're going to try to find air, so they're going to leave the body then. Everybody's got these things all of a sudden, though. Like, nobody else was complaining
Some
about
of the monks and the nun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got these wounds exploding and bot flies. It's chaos. We had this extended scene of just everybody getting smeared with Vaseline and shit.
Yes.
It's really disturbing.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. So, I guess, all right. But I guess once the bot flies have made themselves known, Father Thomas's corpse starts to decompose, and they're like, okay, we just got to cover this up and put it back. It's not. He's not.
Because they figure out it came from his coffin, too.
Which is, I guess he had bot flies.
I guess.
I don't know. I guess there were bot flies in the demon cat.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? So Kristen and the nun, they say their goodbyes. She gives Kristen a bottle of wine, and
she goes back into her room and finds that Kristen had left her shirt.
Well, she won't hug Kristen.
Yeah, she won't.
I don't know. I'm not sure why. If that was I don't know why, but it doesn't matter.
I'm sure there's some kind of rule against it.
I don't know if it was a rule or if she was just like, it would have been made things harder for her. But she turned and Kristen had left the shirt and she really enjoyed that. And
yes.
One of the monks, Brother Winston, has asked David to stay. And David's like, well, no, God needs me on the outside. I was like, yeah, that's exactly why you're not going to stay. I'm sure, David. Yes.
We know why you need to be on the outside, David.
Yes. And it starts with a K and it ends in an N.
Little bit of Kristen.
Little bit of Kristen. She's got so much up in there, she won't notice one more thing.
I did not expect you to say that. Wow. I started that one, so.
Yes, you did.
Sorry.
I do like this episode a lot. I think the choice to have, I know there's a plot reason for making it a silent monastery, but I think it also lets us, nobody's making excuses for this stuff because they can't talk, so you're kind of just left with, this doesn't make none of this makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I think this is something we'll come back to, the idea of the treatment of women, but we're getting some of that in the main storyline with Sister Andrea. This episode's almost like a microcosm of the series because it's all these men telling these women to go here and do that, and like, well, okay, you can do that, but the real work's getting done by this little nun that's down there scrubbing the floor.
Yeah.
She's the one, like all these priests and these guys flying in from Italy and all this other stuff, and she's the one that actually stands toe-to-toe with Leland. Yeah. So this little nun, now obviously the stigmata was not actually stigmata, but she's got to do all the work of the taking care of the wine and all that. Even the older nuns kind of
shy away
from her.
Yeah.
So I think it's, like I said, I think it's just kind of the whole series is in a microcosm here in this episode. It's a good episode. I like it a lot. This is a strong season.
Yes, it is. Very
really
strong.
Yeah. Do you have a whole lot else to say about this?
I do not.
Okay. So with that said, we're moving on to episode 8 next week, which is another good one. So far, 8 episodes in, there hasn't been a stinker yet. So we will talk about episode 8 next week. In the meantime, check out our other podcasts, Deconstructing the Dark Pastor, which is a podcast about all things Dexter, and check out Outside Food and Drink, which is our movie podcast. In April, we're doing a lot of movies about people getting the wool pulled over their eyes. We have April Fools, The Menu, Knives Out, and Ready or Not 1 and 2.
Yes.
Which we will be talking about. I'm very excited about Ready or Not 2. So
yeah, I am too. That's going to be a good one.
Yes. So check those out. We'll put all that information in our show notes. And until next week when we talk about season 2, episode 8. Later.